We're here today at Canon in Reigate, and we're here to talk to Dave Parry about a brand new camera, the 6D Mark II. Everybody's very excited about this new camera, so we're going to take a walk around the grounds, have a sit down with Dave, and we're going to talk about the new features. So, the Canon 6D, from what I understand, we've had a little bit of conversation already, is an entry-level full-frame camera. Is that?
Yeah, so it's our first full-frame camera that we have in our lineup. Obviously, we've got the 5 Series as well, and we're on the 5D Mark IV at the moment. That's sort of the 5 Series has sort of grown and grown into a very much more professional style product, and it's leaving this sort of gap in our range for people who want to step up into full frame. And I think the 6D or the 6 Series really fills that gap really well. So it's a full-frame camera, but very, very small and lightweight, which makes it a fantastic camera to use and a very easy step up from something like a 60D, a 70D, or an 80D, something like that.
Sure.
It's very easy to make that step up to full frame.
And it is designed just for photographers, is it? Not necessarily. A lot of people wonder why it doesn't have 4K. Is it for videographers?
The 6 Series, from the original, the original one was about 2012, September 2012 when we launched it, and it really was aimed at the photographer. And the 6D Mark II is following on from that. It's aimed at people who want to get high quality stills. So it's got an amazing sensor, the new 26.2 million pixel sensor, a Digic 7 processor inside there, which will give you amazing image quality. The 6 Series is also really well known for its low light capabilities, and I'm really pleased that this can do. It was followed on from that. The ISO before expansion on this is 40,000 ISO, which we've never had before. Okay, I'm not expecting people to use 40,000 ISO that often. It's not one you'd use. But what this is telling you is that the lower ISOs, things like 800 or 400, this kind of thing, would be amazing image quality.
Sure.
And it's so exciting to be able to do that.
So the new Digic 7 processor, what does that do?
Well, basically, the Digic 7 is 14 times faster than Digic 6, so it's much better at processing information. This gives you the really good ISO capability. It also gives you better frames per second, because obviously the processor can get the information off the sensor faster.
Sure.
So the camera's gone from 4.5 frames per second to 6.5 frames per second, which is actually only half a frame slower than the 5D Mark IV, which is pretty impressive for a camera of this type. So the Digic 7 is such a big, vast improvement over the Digic 6. And the beauty of the 6 was how simple it was to use. It handled like an 80D or a 70D, something like that, so it made it very easy to step up. We have got a new button here, which controls the AF system, so you can change it, and I'll come on to the AF system in a moment, because that's another massive improvement. But the other thing I really like on here, at last we've got a variable angle screen. So so variable angle screen and a full frame camera. This is a first for us. Not only that, it is actually a touch screen as well. So to have a variable angle is brilliant. We know this camera is bought by a lot of landscape photographers and people like that, and being able to set the camera up and use the screen to be able to see what you're shooting, comfortably, I think is a really good plus point, a really good merit. So it's really exciting.
It looks a little bit larger than the previous 6.
It's not actually. It's pretty much the same size. There's a few millimeters here and there, sort of different sort of look and feel to it. The weight is almost exactly the same as well. And once again, going back to things like the 70D and 60D, this is only 35 grams heavier than our APS-C 80D, which I think is pretty impressive to have a full frame camera.
Yeah.
At that sort of size and weight.
Nice.
Still carries the LP6M battery, so still a very, very powerful battery in there. Another big improvement, which is something that people mentioned about with the original 6 Series, is the autofocus. So we've gone from an 11.1 cross type to 45-point all cross type AF, which is a big leap forward. It's also sensitive to f8. So you've got 27 points, or up to 27 points if you use an f8 lenses with a 2x converter or something like that.
Yeah. And
one of the big big benefits of a 6 was how good it was in low light with autofocus, because it was -3 EV. It was the first camera from us that could photograph in moonlight, and this one follows on from that and can do the same thing. So it was -3 EV for the AF, which is brilliant.
I noticed there's only one SD card slot on there. Did you guys just find that you didn't need a second one?
At this kind of level, we want to keep this size and weight down. This is what this camera's all about. So
Okay.
for the type of photographer who's probably going to buy this, they'll probably be happy with just the one card slot. Remember, we have got the 5 series in our lineup, which has 2 card slots.
True.
So if you do want that, that camera is there. But this one, as I mentioned, is all about size and weight. So we want to keep it as small as possible.
So tell us about autofocus and live view.
So yeah, so we've got our dual pixel CMOS AF system on here, which is our best live view AF system. It's such a good system. We've got quite a number of our cameras now, and I'm really pleased to say we've put it on here. So as I said earlier, this isn't really a camera designed for videographers. But saying that, it does shoot movie, so it does do full HD at 60p. So it uses the dual pixel CMOS AF, so it'll be able to track moving subjects really well. You've got a microphone input on here. We've put some quite interesting video functions on here, but probably more of interest to people who do architectural photography or cityscapes and landscapes and that kind of thing.
Sure.
In that it does time lapse.
It does.
So you can set it up to give you a movie over a period or whatever period you want. But we've also put a 4K time lapse mode on here as well,
Okay.
which on camera will give you a 4K file, but as a time lapse image, which is quite exciting. It's something we've never had before, so that's something that's new, and I hope people will enjoy that.
That is exciting, actually.
So another thing that was a first on the original 6 was Wi-Fi and GPS. And this one has Wi-Fi, GPS, it now has Bluetooth, it also has NFC as well. So it's a totally connected camera.
No lack of connectivity there.
No, not at all, not at all. The Bluetooth is great because you can use the remote and get the big range and this kind of thing. But what I like about the Wi-Fi is being able to control the camera remotely.
Yeah.
Which once again for the landscape photographer or people like that, being able to set the camera up, retire to a nice distance, be nice and comfortable, see what the cameras do and control it from your smart devices is such a big benefit. I say if people haven't tried that, if people haven't done that yet, you've got to do it. It transforms the way that you shoot.
I suppose it gets rid of all that extra unnecessary movement as well, doesn't it? So.
Absolutely, yeah, without a doubt.
So that was the Canon 6D Mark II. If you guys are interested in more information about this camera or future content from Clifton Cameras, give us a like and hit subscribe.